Brother Steve coming to you today. I know I ain't done a lunchbox message in a while. Sitting here waiting on my wife and was reading my Bible, and in the book of Matthew I've been reading just a little bit and studying, and faith got upon my mind to speak to us about just a few minutes. And amen, I know there's a lot of people out there today that need God to move in certain ways, need God to move in a mighty way, amen, for healing, for sickness, for whatever reason, financial, drug addiction. There's so many different reasons we need God to step in and move for us, amen. And as I was reading this, amen, in I guess, let's see, the 7th and 8th chapter of the book of Matthew and on to the 9th, I began reading about all these different people, amen, that came to Jesus. Amen. And we see different ways that the Lord has touched those folks. Amen. There's a leper came to Jesus, and he said, "If thou wilt, make me clean." And Jesus put forth his hand and touched him, and he became whole. And then another, a centurion came to him, and he said, "My servant is lying at home sick of the palsy." He said, and Jesus said, "I'll come and heal him." But the man said, "Lord, I'm not worthy of you to come, but just speak the word." The Lord, he spoke the word. Amen. And the man was healed. Amen. He came into Peter's house and saw Peter's mother-in-law sitting there laying there with a fever. Amen. And Jesus touched her hand and she became whole. Amen. And on different ones. Amen. The Lord moves in different ways. Amen. And these same disciples, they saw Jesus, amen, do these things. And yet when they cast out on the ship, amen, and a storm, a tempest came, amen, they became fearful and they ran to Jesus. And Jesus said, "O ye of little faith." Amen. Sometimes it's going to take us, amen, to exercise our faith. Amen. Another lady came and she said, "But if I could just touch the hem of his garment, I'd be made whole." Amen. Amen. There's difference. There's different ways that God can move for us, but it's all comes down to the same thing. Amen. Our faith has got to, amen, be the key. Our faith, amen. Just like there was two blind men that came to Jesus, and they said, that Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy upon us. Amen. And Jesus touched her eye. He said, "Do you believe that I can do this?" And they said, "Yes, we do." Amen. And Jesus said, "According to your faith, be it unto you." Amen. Thank God. The Bible teaches us that if we come to Jesus, that we've got to believe that he is a rewarder to those that seek him diligently. Amen. We've got to believe that Jesus is going to move for us. We've got to believe that Jesus can heal us. We've got to believe that Jesus can move in our finance. We've got to believe that Jesus can do these things before we ever ask him. Amen. If we ask him and we don't believe it, why should he move for us? Amen. We've got to know when we come to praying, when we get in our prayer closet, we get to pray, and we got to know who we're talking to. Amen. It's our faith. According to your faith, be it unto you. Not unto my faith, not unto somebody else's faith, but your faith. If you're needing God to move, it's according to your faith. Amen. These folks would have never came to Jesus if they didn't believe that he could heal them. These folks would have never came to Jesus if they didn't think that he could help them. Amen. Do you believe today that Jesus can move in your situation? Do you know today that Jesus can help you no matter what's going on? Amen. The book of Jeremiah, I think it's 32 and 27 says, amen, "Behold, I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me?" Amen. You've got to ask yourself today, amen, is my situation, do I believe God can move in it or do I not? Amen. God's able to perform anything. Amen. It may be impossible to the man, amen, but nothing is impossible to God. Amen. Exercise your faith today. Trust in Jesus. Amen. Believe that he will. Amen. Because he said, "Ask and you shall receive. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you." Amen. Whatever it is that you've got before the Lord, amen, believe he's going to move in it. Amen. Until you get yourself founded upon that rock, knowing that Jesus is going to move, amen, he might not move. Amen. But I'm telling you today, amen, exercise your faith, because according to your faith, be it unto you. just a little quick word I had to share with each and every one of you today. I'd appreciate it if you liked and shared this, amen. Maybe get it out to somebody.